Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again here to bring another video. This one's going to be talking about a movie concept idea. This is not confirmed by any means, but it's just my suspicion that we will be seeing this movie probably in the next 5 years or so. I mean, with the success of the Marvel's The Avengers having the biggest box office opening in history, you got to think that Warner Brothers, is paying attention and noticing that because, Marvel has sort of pioneered this. This whole movie team up. I mean, they have had X-Men films in the past, which did okay, but the Avengers has just blown the door open for everything. And the funny thing about it is that Justice League has sort of been an idea that Warner Brothers seems to have been playing with for a long time, but they just seem to back out all the time. Like they try it, they start it, and then they back out. And it seems like they're having trouble writing a good script for it, or screenplay, or I'm not sure exactly what it is, why they keep backing out of it every time, having trouble because it's such a big undertaking. But I think that we can probably predict, now that The Avengers has been this successful and has the potential of being one of the highest grossing movies of all time, if not the, you got to think that Warner Brothers is going to be like, hey, we should do that too. Why wouldn't we do that? Because it worked for them. And the thing about it is that the Avengers, actually, when you think about it, their heavy hitters are pretty much the big four, which are Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, and Thor. Hawkeye and Black Widow, whatever. Most people might not even know who they are unless they've seen the other movies or read the comic books. But the average person doesn't know who Black Widow or Hawkeye are. Now they might, but before they didn't. Everybody knows Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk, and Thor. Well, not everybody knows Thor, but the other three, I think pretty much everybody knows. However, those three, none of them are as big as Batman or Superman. I think that's unarguable. Anybody who wants to argue that, I really don't want to hear it. I'll probably just delete your comment, because don't leave a comment like that below. That would just be such a dumb argument to make. Batman and Superman are two of the most widely recognized characters, fictional characters, period. Not even just in comic books, but period. Okay, Batman and Superman. If you're going to make a list of the top 2 comic book characters, let's say a top 10 list, best comic book characters ever made, I think their top 2, unarguably or inarguably, have to be Batman and Superman. They have to be. You can't. I don't even listen to anybody who would say that you put someone else in the top 2 rather than those two. You have to. A lot of people don't like Superman. They don't like the direction that he's taken in the last maybe 15 years or so. I'm one of them, but I still have to recognize that he's either the greatest or second greatest comic book character ever created. They're also more widely recognized than the Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man. People who don't read comic books, everybody knows Batman. Everybody knows Superman. I mean, they're probably more well-known than Barack Obama or famous people like Hulk Hogan and people like this. So why wouldn't, DC want to capitalize on that and make a Justice League movie? At this time, now that they've seen the Avengers, in action and seen that it works and people want to see it, why wouldn't they? It just, to me, it boggles my mind that they haven't already done it, because talk has been around for the longest time, probably around since the X-Men, that they should do a Justice League movie, but they can't seem to get the script right, or they back out because it's such a big project. But my take on it is personally, like, what's the trouble with the script? Why is the script so hard to write? All you have to do is get the writers, pick up the Justice League cartoon, make them watch every episode of the Justice League cartoon, and have them pick a storyline. Have them pick an arc. There's at least 20, I'd say 20 arcs or maybe more story arcs that could be made into a movie from the Justice League cartoon show. That could be translated almost directly to a live-action movie or adapted in their own way. Maybe put 2 of them together and make it like a 2.5-hour movie. It's so easy. It just boggles my mind. Like, the writing could be taken directly from that, or if you want to go directly to the books, you can take it directly from the comic books. I mean, last year in 2011, we had DC reboot with the relaunch of Justice League. And pretty much it was the highest selling comic book for a few months in a row because, well, you had pretty much one of the best artists and one of the best writers in all of comic books doing it. But my point is that it's just a property that should be utilized in a movie. To me, it makes no sense that Warner Brothers hasn't already done it. I mean, everybody wants to see, Batman and Superman interact. They want to see, okay, well, a lot of people would like to see Green Lantern, me included, Wonder Woman, The Flash. And then after that, it doesn't really matter who you put in. You could put in a couple other members if you want, but as long as you have Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, The Flash, and Wonder Woman, those five, that's good. If you want to add in more members, like the recent reboot has Cyborg in there, you could put him in there if you want. Martian Manhunter would be cool. Any of these, you can really, there's so many characters to choose from. And in terms of who to use as a villain, there are so many choices. It's crazy that you could use for a movie and make it really good. I mean, I can think of at least 10 that I think would probably be better than Loki, was in the Avengers. That would be easier to write and would probably turn out better. Number one would be Darkseid. Just Darkseid alone. That's all you need. You get Darkseid, you're good. Or you could have this is my choice for honestly the first movie. I would go with the Legion of Doom. That's what I would do. Just for the old, just for the sake of, the old cartoon and everything like that. And the Legion of Doom would just be great enemies towards the Justice League. Because again, it's going to be that whole thing. Who can challenge, this team? And why do you need to put the team together? You have an alien invasion coming or whatever. Okay, whatever. But, having a Legion of Doom led by Lex Luthor or somebody else, doesn't really matter who it is. I mean, there's so many characters. You could have Vandal Savage lead them, like we got to see in the DC animated direct-to-DVD movie called Doom. And you guys should all check that out. It's very good. It's very well done. I should actually do a review of that. But, there's just so many different storylines that they could just take and make into a movie. I mean, wasn't that really what they did with the Avengers? They just took, storylines from the existing comic books and just adapted them and, rewrote the screenplay a couple times and got it the way they wanted it and just did it. I mean, that, and I didn't even think that story was really that good at all. I mean, you guys see my review about that. You know what I think about that. But in terms of Justice League, to me, it's just like, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you? You don't even need to advertise it. It advertises itself, because, again, Avengers proves people know, all these characters. Of course, they're going to want to see that in the movie. Justice League could be the same thing. Now, okay, moving on from there. So the villain, I'd like to hear also, please write in the comments below who you guys would like to see as a Justice League villain. Who you would choose. Because there's a lot of different villains or teams of villains that you could go with. A lot of different storylines. Man, there's just tons. But I think personally, I would choose the Legion of Doom. I think that would just be so much fun to see. And you could go two directions with it. You could go the kind of silly, poke fun at itself, don't take itself too seriously route, which I think would definitely work for the Legion of Doom. You could take a serious route and do like Darkseid or something like that. Like in the DC reboot right off the bat, Darkseid was the first main villain that they tangle with in it. I mean, there's just so many there. So anyway, let me know who you guys would choose. I think the Legion of Doom is the way to go. Anyway, moving on from that, when will we see it? I mean, I think we should have seen this type of movie done already. I would say probably by 2016, now that the Avengers has been successful, Warner Brothers should get on it, should make it happen. I don't know why they wouldn't. It's gonna be so profitable for them to do it. Just put it together. Like I said, you don't even have to advertise it. It'd be really, really easy to do. Let me know also what storyline you guys would like to see for the first Justice League movie if Warner Brothers was to put it together, and which tone you would like. The more serious tone, sort of similar to Christopher Nolan's Batman series, or maybe something kind of sillier. I really don't think it matters which way you go with it. I think it'd be interesting to see a serious take on it. And you could just have basically the movie maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, introduce the characters. Well, you don't have to introduce them too much. Obviously, we know who Batman is, so you don't have to go way into storyline with that. Maybe just have him doing something in Gotham and then have, them meet up and, go up to the Watchtower, this kind of stuff, have something happen, the villains meeting up and coming together and doing something. I mean, there's just so many, there's endless possibilities. Maybe that's why it's difficult for them to get it going is there's so many choices that it might be hard for them to narrow it down. But I think that Legion of Doom, Justice League movie should happen. Let me know what you guys think. Later, guys. Peace.